Alright, hello everybody. It's been pretty heavily requested, so I thought I would do a Solo Solak talk-through guide for beginner people who are looking to Solo Solak for the first time. So as you can see in my inventory here, got a pretty basic setup. You know, just your standard stuff, really kind of take this everywhere you go. I am, of course, joking, but this is the setup we're going to be going with today. It's the Inquisitor Staff with the upgrade enchantment thingy from Zamorak, well, the slivers from ED4 anyway. And I will also have some dual-wield weapons, because not everything here is affected by the Inquisitor buff, like most things are. But it's basically just the elf later on who you want to be using, not Inquisitor versus, because... well, yeah, just it doesn't work. But apart from that, just standard stuff, standard armor, Cinderbanes, weapon poison, ideally qualm sticks, but I don't really want to waste mine right now. Spiritual prayer for the end is quite nice, so you get more Ripidemon specs. Yeah, Gothic staff amulet, and just regular stuff really. Vom bombs, smoke cloud debuff, insight fear spell. I hope I'm not missing anything. We used the Marjarat aura today, I think. Maniacal also works just fine, so use that if you wish. But for now, we'll do this. Have the grimoire as well, which again, you don't really need this one. Like I think like a full book or a Wen book will work perfectly fine. But it's really up to you. So let's get a cracking, shall we? Alright, start off, make sure we Vuln the boss and Smoke Cloud, and then just kind of attack it. Like we're not going to be going for any like crazy skips or anything, so don't you worry about that. Probably what I do with the first thing here, you can just debilitate this if you want to, and Soul Split Flicking is generally advised, like its attacks are quite slow, so you can get away with quite a lot. And if you Vitality Potion this explosion, God, you barely survive, but you do survive. I kind of took a bit too much damage beforehand, which was a little bit bad, but either way, that is one way to do it. A better way to do that is to debilitate the first explosion, and then actually Resonance or Disruption Shield on tick for the second explosion. But this is just a way that means that you won't be dying as much, so it's a little bit easier. And yeah, just for these things, good to do a few bunch of like Gothic staff specs on them. They do die quite fast. Other than that, just attack them normally. And then at 106 here, the boss will phase into... well, he'll phase into his next spec, which is the root thingies. It's just anticipate and just run away in like the opposite direction is essentially what you do there. And now here we're just kind of like waiting for the next spec to happen, which is when it goes to arms and legs. So just if you want, you can put in your shield. If you can do damage, it's great, but you do need to save onto your sunshine for this next bit, which is very important. So it should be happening in just a second here, if memory serves. Okay, well, you get the drift. Just keep attacking. Ideally, keep Soul Split Flicking, and then eventually. There we go. Eventually get to arms and legs. So basically, it's looking for a DPS check there. If you get him to 1.5 mil, I think it is, then you can then phase into this a bit faster. Add Sunshine like partway through the arms here. Making good use of like standing right here and using Dragon Breath on the far one. Actually hits both of them, which is very useful. Then the second one, it's good to detonate there, and again like Detto, Dragon Breath, Chain, whatever you want. Just really just AoE them down quite nicely. So nothing too crazy, but yeah, let's get those down. And we have the core spawning in the middle, of course. Just smash it with Omni Power and whatever else. Inquisitor does work on this, which is quite nice, of course. I don't know if we can one-cycle it here. Probably not, but don't worry if you can't. Probably Sunshine a bit later, and then we probably could have got it actually, but that's okay. And what we should be doing for sure is making sure we're stacking shards, which I kind of forgot to do that so far. But yeah, ideally Storm Shard stacking for the whole fight, is very, very useful. And we'll just bring him down again. He actually resets resets his specs here, so you actually do really want to get him down to 1.5 mil. I just realized I've been taking it a little bit too slow. But it's fine. It's all fine. So basically if you're really slow here, he'll do the roots again, but now that I've gone into 1.5, it'll be nice and friendly. Straight back into arms and legs again. So again, just, you know, utilizing chains and dragon breaths and all sorts. Sunshine as well, nice relentless there, always very useful, but we'll grab this down now at a very pedestrian pace, but it's a pace that shall work. So if anyone is looking, oh wow, it's a crit and a half, jeez. If anyone is following today, then for the first time, then you can go this slow and be fine. Just probably bring a little bit more in the way of prayer, I imagine, is a good idea. Alright, so now that's that bit done. So this is the part where you don't want to use Inquisitor because it doesn't actually work against these eruptions. It's basically Wild Magic, Dragon Breath that eruption, and just before it dies, click on the elf, then get the cleanse message and surge back in here. Very, very simple. We want to do that 2 times actually. Although the second time we only need to we don't have to cleanse on the second time. Always a good idea to, kill one, attack another one, and then surge back this way, for example. It's a very, very good plan to do that. My Omnipower there seemed to, Omnipower Dragon Breath seemed to one-shot that guy, so that's quite nice. Don't be afraid to eat some food in this phase, by the way. It does hurt a bit, but the storm should be going down fairly soon. So just make sure you're spam clicking when you're upstairs, of course. And now here we go. This bit is should be fairly chill now. Just again making sure to soul split flick when required, and don't forget storm shard stacks, very important as well. But just back to Inquisitor stuff for basically the whole time now. Just spamming whatever ability you want, it doesn't really matter, but just do try and get the occasional res for a little heal is always nice. But do watch out for the bombs though, they can be very painful, especially when things get a little bit later on, like the bombs hurt more the longer they've been going. And here we go, we get a blessing. Let's just move out of the way a little bit so we don't get squashed. So yeah, as soon as it says rain down upon you, you want to press the button here. You can reflect as well, which is quite nice. On this bit, make sure your resonance is up. Very important. Because like on the 4th one or so, we're going to step out, grab a res, and then run back in. Kind of depends on your HP, but just, whenever you feel is a good time to get a res, then go for it. Very nice to do. And here you get thingied, the grabbed, press freedom, run away a little bit, run back, click on the root, and then sunshine again. And he's going to give us another big melee smack. And I believe our resonance should line up very nicely for this. So yeah, resonate the 4th one literally makes it perfect for that res. So, but otherwise it's a very big melee hit. So you might want to watch out for it a little bit, And then we're gonna have the rain again. So we've already picked up the blessing a second time. So extra action button coming through exact same timing as before. So don't worry too much. So I'm already a little bit low here, so I'm gonna you know what? I'm gonna grab a res on this one. Okay, probably don't be 97 HP, but hey, it's fine. Pick up the last blessing in case you need it. And here you actually want to be 100% adren. If you have good damage, you can skip this, but we have gone at a pedestrian pace, of course. So just barricade this up and run it down here, and probably click on this guy again. Good old Marathel, she'll cleanse you, and then you won't be taking as much damage, which is always nice. And then we phased him. There are more specs there if you go even slower than that. But yeah, so basically if you get even slower than that, he'll do another spec where he'll like slam the ground. There'll be like a small arrow of roots. So just if he slams the ground, just move away a bit. But I feel like you shouldn't be getting that spec unless I'm crazy, because I really haven't gone overly ham on damage. But then yeah, we're going to drag him to that pad and watch out for the purple explosions that come when you charge the pad. But otherwise just kill him as per usual. And then 3 hits after that, he'll do he'll stun you, but you have to stun him back, otherwise you'll take a big tie plus hit. That will just keep building and building, doubling every time. And I'm going to do another pad, so yeah, just keep attacking. And go, go, go. So yeah, again, every time you charge a pad, you get like a bit of a breather, which is quite nice. And we're going to be, you know, just taking him down to, is it 200k damage? I can't remember. But we'll know when we get there, because you'll hit an HP cap and you'll stop being able to do damage. There's the stun attack again, so we were fixing there, so we managed to stun him back very quickly. Don't forget to grab a resonance if you need to, and like use devotion or debilitate. Like you can take this phase as slowly as you like, and you don't technically have to charge the pads. It's just nice to have this bit of downtime, isn't it? So that's what I do quite like doing. And we got some shards there as well. Just make sure we're stacking up to 10 for the finale. And probably after this one, we'll go press the... Oh, run away from that. I mean, you don't have to run it. It hits like 2k damage, but you know, it's quite nice to run sometimes. Again, we get stunned, we stun it back. Nice and simple. Probably grab another resonance here. You want to be like reasonably high HP at this point, because we're going to go in and say hi to Mr. Arithor, who's actually the real baddie behind Solak. Going to pray range versus this guy. And you also do not want to use Inquisitor. So this is why we've got our Wand and Orb switch. Because Inquisitor does not work versus this guy. I'm going to get him a little bit low. Probably like, yeah, around 20k is good. Switch out when you come back though. You've got to make sure you're praying melee when you come back. Because Solak will hit you straight away. Which is obviously not very friendly. Ooh, make sure your prayer has enough prayer, I guess. And we'll take him down a little bit more. And we're getting ready for the big finale. So we'll take him down to 200k. Then jump up. I was going to say jump into Arithor, but I actually phased that a bit too early for it to line up with damage, but that's fine. You can take as long as you like, really. So stun him there, grab a res, grab our last Storm Shard, and then charge up another pad, and then we're good to jump into this guy. So we finish him off like that, and then we're going to surge up to the big tree man. Make sure we chuck on a Von Bomb and a Smoke Cloud, very important so you do more damage. Make sure your Ripper Demon is ready to Ripper Demon. And then we're hopefully going to kill the boss. So you want to make sure you don't front load the damage too much. So I would recommend saving your Omni Power a little bit later. Like around now is probably good. And we can Omni Power, Shatter. You want to stun him as he does that spec. Very important. And you can Disruption Stone and Avenge it. And then just spam your staffs and stuff. And there you have it. That's how to kill Solak. So, yeah. Very doable. But, yeah, just make sure you use your Omni Power and Shatter just closer to the end. Because the earlier that you do the damage, the more ghosties spawn in the realm. Which means that you may fail the DPS check a bit more easily than you otherwise should. And of course you can either grab the loot from Marithel, or you can go out and get your luck at the dwarves. It's up to you. I'll just grab it here. Grab some qualms. So not too bad. Yeah, hopefully that all makes sense. I would recommend having... Well, if you guys have it, obviously fsoa spec makes that phase trivial in comparison to Inquisitor. But yeah, it's still very doable with Inquisitor. albeit a little bit close. That's why I kind of turned on my Wrath Prayer at the end. I was a bit worried. But it worked out. We still had a good few seconds to survive. So yeah, hopefully that's an okay talk through. Obviously, you know, as you get better at it, you can do more damage and skip some of the earlier specs to very much speed up your kill. But yeah, other than that, that should be everything. You can also use Maniacal if you want to instead of Marjorat. Both are absolutely fine. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the little talk through there. Hopefully it's reasonably beginnery enough, but obviously you do need a fair bit of damage at the end or you will get murdered. I would, however, recommend learning this boss in group. Like, it is better in group, it's faster, it's easier. But if you don't really want to go with, then solo is obviously an option. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you all very soon.